Welcome to Football Faith and Africa. Today I am going to be sharing with you few problems facing African football. Without delay, one of the very major problems facing African football is poor governance. Very poor governance. And then corruption. Poor governance and corruption has become one of Africa's major problems. It's a foundational problem. Mind you, when leaders lack integrity, infrastructure development or development generally suffers. Infrastructural wise, human capacity wise, mentally, every form of development suffers when integrity is not available. People begin to struggle for power instead of human and talent development, identification and development. So bad governance, where football associations and organizations, instead of seeking on how to develop African football, rather they seek how to gather power, how to gather funds for themselves. Corruption. You see people looking away from talented players to players who can buy their positions. All of you had heard stories of Mbappe, how he came to his home country to be signed. If that story is true, I don't know, it's not verified. But I have heard people say Mbappe came to his home country to be signed. But the then head coach refused because he requested that Mbappe and Mbappe's parents should pay certain amount of money. Because he didn't pay, he had to go back to France. It does not just happen there, it happens everywhere across Africa. Corruption. So as a young player in that community, in that rural settlement, a young player who does not have anybody to want to help you, anybody to bribe, anybody to support you, anybody to open the door for you, you discover that it may look almost impossible to find solution. It may look almost impossible to find a way. You may be very, very talented, but talent alone in Africa is not enough. Talent alone is not enough. Like the popular African saying, you need to know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody. And when you don't know anybody, your talent makes you a celebrity within an environment, within a community, within a settlement, and that becomes it for you, just like me. You play and people clap for you. Those who like you will give you 1,000, 2,000, 5,000. Highest, some of them will buy you boots. And you feel like a celebrity because the rest of your team member, none of them got boots, got jersey, or took certificate from a competition as best player, the highest goal scorer, utility player, and the whole of all of these things. It begins and ends at that level. Nobody is in any way ready or willing to help you because the system does not allow just talent, certificate to pass if you don't have resources. So it's a major problem. And this problem led to the next problem. And the next problem is lack of good infrastructures. Hey, I will not have you deceived. When I came into Europe and I saw community-based football teams, and I am in a part of Europe where the weather does not allow football all season. For a larger season, they play futsal. Futsal is an indoor kind of football where they play inside the building with its own nature, yet football. Now, for this set of persons, if you see facilities, I was in a team where we went to train. One day I might maybe show a clip of our training because I have a video recording of some of our training where we had to train, and we had more than 40 balls in just one training. More than 40 footballs. As an academy in Nigeria, the highest number of ball I've had was 6 or 7, I think. And at that time, it was our peak. We were like, oh my goodness, I invested my resources personally, invested my resources to getting those balls. And a few other friends who saw what we're doing, who believe and were participating, contributed and showed effort to getting some of those balls. As large as our hearts were, we weren't having the resources to do better. But here in Europe, you see a team come with about 20, 25, 30, 35, 40 balls with other training kits, training jerseys, etc. Our team here has a complete standard gym, have swimming pool, a local team like what I had in Nigeria, a community-based team like what I had in Nigeria, had access to these things. Has coaches that have been paid. Throughout my entire experience as a coach in Nigeria, I've never received $1. I've never taken $1. I've never taken €1. A cent I've never taken as a coach. That is how bad it is. Now, whatever I am saying about myself as a coach does not begin and end with just me. It is like that for more than 1 million coaches across the continent of Africa, in Nigeria. Coaches that are that has the same status with me are numerous. People who are selfless. Many of the few that I had to work with so selfless that they go work somewhere else, use their salary they are earning to buy training bibs, training jerseys, boots for players. Do so much, put in so much energy, so much sacrifices, so much effort for the little that we have. So the government, whose policies does not incubate or what's it called, does not accommodate football development or youth talent skill development, made us work so much to get so little. Stadium standard not up to FIFA requirements. You go to some stadium, I'm sorry, I wouldn't want to mention names. You go to some stadium, even my own state stadium, if you look at it, it's a mess of itself. In the entire Nigeria, the largest black nation of the world, how many standard FIFA accredited stadiums do we have? Maybe one. These are problems across Africa that does not allow your talent as a footballer, your ability, your energy, your skill as a coach to grow. So when you come with me, I am going to prefer solution because we are headed somewhere. I'm going to show you briefly what to do, how to do. So talking about this, another very major problem that we have in Africa is very poor grassroots structures. When I say structure, I am talking about football structure. Unlike Europe, my goodness God, you want to be a footballer, it is so identified as early as possible from your primary school days. You are identified as a footballer and they begin to groom you, they begin to teach you, by the time you are 10, 11, 12, you understand football technicalities, you understand football control, you understand football tactics, you understand football discipline, you understand football ethics. At 11, 12, no wonder players like Lamine Yamal and etc. are doing so well at so young age. How many Nigerian or African footballers who rose to stardom started at that age? How many would we see that are from Africa? You will realize there are none. If there are, maybe one or two. And I doubt. I'm trying to scan my head, I've not seen any. So these are the problems. So in Africa, there is need for a football or talent structuring. Talent structuring. Europe has it. There is a progression. There is a system that allows you to grow as a professional footballer. Grow from amateur, grow from zero to hero, grow from nowhere to somewhere. And you are aware of your progression. Just like the way we go to school, when you begin your primary school to your secondary school to the university, there is a system like that for footballers to grow and for every other career person to grow in their line of career. That does not happen. Many of us will play when a team has match, then they come to call you, go to play. You have injury, you come back home, you begin to treat yourself if you can. If you cannot, you retire like myself, who got retired but because of injury and etc. You bear your responsibilities yourself. You do it the way you know best to do it, and that leads nowhere. So a pool of talent in Africa has been wasted, and it is still wasting because of lack of adequate structure. Lack of adequate structure, grassroots structure.